I know Dollar Tree is raising their prices, but when I last checked, maybe a week ago, they still had their prices at $1.25 for craft supplies like the canvases and some of the other things that I showed in the Dollar Tree Cricut supplies video to craft with. So in this video, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to make these printed art canvases so you can have a little paint party with the kids or with your girlfriends, whatever you want to do. 2 ways with the Cricut and one without using a Cricut. So stay tuned if you do not have a Cricut and you'll be able to do these as well.
Let me quickly show you how to set up this project in Cricut Design Space. These are images from creativefabrica.com. They're just coloring pages, and I uploaded each one as a single layer image, sized it to fit the canvas that I wanted to put it on, and then I used contour to remove that outer square. I did add a little offset because I like the lines to be nice and visible when I go to weed it out, and I'm just adding enough of an offset to outline each part of the design.
So for this first one, I used iron-on vinyl, just in black, and I cut that with my Cricut. And I've already weeded the design, as you can see, and it's nice thick lines because I did that offset. So what I'm going to do, I cut it a little close with the size, but it's going to be fine. I've got my mini heat press set to medium heat. I'm just going to press that while moving it around, but with firm pressure for about 15 seconds all over. And I'm just trying to go in one direction so I don't have any areas that lift. So I have a little struggle with this. I did not want to stick. I think it's the vinyl that was very old, so I'm going to try it again. I have done iron-on canvas, so I know this works. So this is just the same cutout. I did not do the offset on this one, so the lines are a little thinner, which I like. And I have this is just a Dollar Tree glass cutting board, so that is a nice firm surface underneath. I'm gonna give this another go. This is Hobby Lobby vinyl that only uses like 5 seconds of press time, so we're gonna see if this works better to stick. I am gonna use my big heat press this time, and I'm gonna preheat the canvas just for a few seconds. And then, let's see if we can get this to work. I'll let it cool down and I'll be right back. Okay, so I pressed it a few more times with my mini heat press because these canvases really aren't that flat. So I needed to get a couple of these middle spots, and it's still slightly warm. But this worked out so much better. I love this little blue color. You could do pastels. How cute would that be? So that is iron-on onto canvas to make these little paint palettes. And I'll show you a second way. So a second way to do this is just to use regular adhesive vinyl, which I did the same steps in Design Space to go ahead and set up the size and cut it out, and then I weeded it. The other prep thing to do is just take some Mod Podge, which is what I did with this, and brush it over the entire canvas. And what that does essentially is just fill in the grain or the texture to kind of give it a smoother surface to attach to, or to adhere to, which when you're using vinyl, that's what you need, is a smoother surface. So I'm just using some light grip transfer tape because I don't want to peel up the Mod Podge that I used on here, and you'll want to let that dry for at least a couple hours, ideally overnight, so it doesn't peel up when you go to transfer the image. I like to just burnish from the back side as well, because these light grip transfer tapes are not super sticky. Okay, so here is my image all transferred, and we're just going to position it and stick it down. Moment of truth. There we go. We have our little canvas. So this is a nice easy way to do it if you do not have a heat press. And it just takes a little more time with letting the Mod Podge dry, but just as effective with the vinyl. So a third option to do this little mini paint canvas is to do a pencil transfer. And this is an old way to do things. This is before the Cricut was super popular, I think, where people use this way to transfer images onto different things. So essentially, you're just going to print it out, and you can, if you have Design Space, go ahead and size it and then just make it a print then cut image and just print it. You don't have to cut it, and it'll print to the right size, or you can just send it to your printer, but go ahead and adjust the printer settings to get the right size to fit your canvas. So all we're going to do is, and I've already started, you're just going to take a pencil and just kind of scratch over all the lines that are in the image. Just get it as dark as you can. Then what we're going to do is, once we have it positioned, we're just going to take the pencil and trace all the lines. Now, obviously, this one's going to take a little bit longer and need a little more patience, but it's definitely doable. So I'll come back when this is done. Oh, there it is. I need to go over any spots. Quickly go over it, just make sure not to move your canvas. There is the transfer, and then what I'll do is I'll take a Sharpie marker and just darken all the lines. And there it is. So this is outlined with the Sharpie. You could go over it a couple times or use a thicker one to make the lines pop out more. But obviously, if you have natural artistic ability, you could just draw this on a canvas with Sharpie. But for those of us that don't, this is a nice option if you don't have a Cricut to do the vinyl or the iron on.
So those were 3 ways to make DIY canvas paintings. Let me know who you're making these for and which technique you will try. And I'll see you in the next one.